Okay, welcome back to Florida Naturally, and we are at Weeki, Wachee Springs, and we have Barbara Wins with us. Barbara, what's your title here?
Actually, I'm a performing former mermaid.
A performing former mermaid. How long have you been a mermaid?
I swam in the 60s and then in the 70s, and then we came back in 97 to do a show for the 50th reunion, and I've been a part of group for the last 7 years that perform once a month. And then 3 years ago they asked us to do it once a month, so we've been really blessed. It is all volunteer, and for me it was 27 years. I said if I could get in the Springs just one more time, and so I'm living my blessed dream 7 years later.
Tell us about the heyday of this place.
Well, Weeki Wachee was one of the largest attractions, one of the busiest attractions in its 60s and 70s. When it opened in 1947, the only way they could get people in was they would hear the Model A's and the Model T's coming down the road, and they would go out and wave the people to come in, and then they would put on a show for them and then sell them hamburgers and hot dogs. And then as it progressed and ABC Paramount bought it in the 60s and 70s, it was one of the largest Florida attractions. I think it was number 8 out of 167.
Now you say ABC Paramount, we're talking about the studio and the network.
Yes, they owned it for several years, and then in the late 70s they sold it, and it's been privately owned since then. But it was quite a production when they owned it, and it has been from time to time. But it got most attention pre-Disney from ABC.
Sure, I can remember when I was a kid in Chicago seeing advertisements for Weeki Wachee on ABC.
Yeah, even at the movie theater, you'd see it in the shorts.
Yeah.
Weeki Wachee in Silver Springs, right? They were sister companies for at one time.
Well, it's a lovely property. How many acres are here?
There were at one time originally over 500, but right now I think this park, I can't be quoted, maybe 17 to 27 is the concession of Weeki Wachee, and then Swiftmud owns the water rights and all the land around it.
So if you brought your family here, what can you expect to do and see?
Well, starting in March, Buck Bay will be opening, and we have the water slides in the beach. Right now you have our underwater show and a boat ride down the Weeki Wachee River and an animal show. Right now it's a reptile show, but the lady that is a trainer, trains movie animals, is now training birds, and so she's going to have like a barnyard show with birds and small horses and dogs. It's going to be quite a show.
So we have some scuba divers behind us here that are training when the mermaids aren't performing, which is kind of interesting to watch these folks.
It's a beautiful spring. It's a high magnitude spring. It puts out 167 million gallons of 98% pure water at 74.2. The water had always been closed to the public. This is one of the places that people wanted to dive, and now that they're allowed, they can get checkout dives here. They can go all the way to open water, which is 60 feet here, and it's the world famous Weeki Wachee Spring, so it attracts a lot of divers.
Let's get back to the mermaids. What is involved in becoming a mermaid? What do you have to do? And you have to be able to hold your breath a long time? You have to be comfortable in the water. As far as training for mermaids, there is no other place to train this type of training. Scuba is on command. This is a free-flowing air hose. I call it reverse to a garden hose, and you control it, the amount of air, and you learn to sip it in your lungs and then exhale it. You can take in a full amount of air, but you almost have to exhale half of it to stay neutrally buoyant. So you start with the buoyancy first. That's where you can stay one spot in the water, which is pretty phenomenal in this spring because we're also fighting a current that's making us swirl. So we're doing a lot of moonwalking that people don't see to stay in one spot. You can get caught in the current doing a ballet movement and you'll move right in front of someone. So then after the buoyancy, we do what you would do the same as stage ballet, which is, and then we interpret music with this ballet and pantomime. Can you hear the music out there?
Yes, there are speakers underwater.
Cool.
Yeah, we used to even do night shows when I swam. There were great lights under there, and we do every Saturday night would be a night show, and it was beautiful because it was like we were swimming on black velvet, you know, with the way the light would just hit certain parts. Sure. What we do is 56 years old. Now the attraction's gone through a lot of changes. It's gone through a lot of neglect previous to this owner, and people have come in, bought the springs, made their ticket price and left, and that's what it works on now is ticket price. So the renovations that are required that it needs has been a lot of work, and the manager Robin Anderson has put a lot of her time and heart and soul in trying to preserve this park. It is swimming upstream because of the Disney traffic that it takes, but I think since some of the horrific things that have happened in this country, people are staying home and they're supporting their local attractions. I believe if you build it, they will come. Well, it's certainly a lovely property, and just from an historical standpoint, people should come and see it. Right. And support Weeki Wachee. All right. You see live mermaids.
That's right.
That's right.
If you'd like to see some real mermaids, come visit Weeki Wachee Springs or check out their website at www.weekiwachee.com. Or for more information, you can call Weeki Wachee at 352-596-2062.